Well, Kenya is Kenyans and scandals. I mean, you can't separate them apart. Maybe sometimes I think our DNA is only scandals and scandals and scandals. Wherever there's a scandal, there's always a Kenyan. Wherever there's a scandal, there's always a Kenyan. Yeah. Just a few days ago, I made a video about it. Somebody, a British Brazilian, walked all through our international airport, the biggest airport, our biggest infrastructure. He walked through it to the aeroplane, yeah, with no problem, only to be caught at the Heathrow airport in London, yeah, with drugs with him. And then after some few hours, there were some pictures online showing somebody who looks like the person who escorted this person to the airport, yeah, posing for a photo with a very senior CS, you know? And you start asking yourself, what is this? And one funny thing, up to now, there's nobody from the government have talked about it, you know? I don't know. I don't want to go into those things. I don't know. Maybe they knew, maybe it was us, they were setting this guy up to go and to let him get arrested in Britain. I don't know. But this time round, the next scandal, what I want to talk about, is a Kenyan who was caught with a fake death certificate in the US. Just look at this video.
Since September 19th, officers from our Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America. Focusing on a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies. In another, an individual admitted to obtaining a fake death certificate in Kenya for just $100 to prove he was no longer married. In reality, his wife is alive, living here in Minneapolis, and is the mother of 5 of his children. And incidentally, he has another wife living in Sweden with whom he has an additional 3 children.
So before I jump in into the stories of this Kenyan who was caught with a fake death certificate, let me tell you what happened. This was a kind of a raid which is happening right now in America. It's very normal now. They are only targeting foreigners who are illegal immigrants, people who are living in America illegally. So this time they were in Minneapolis. You know, Minneapolis is the biggest town in Minnesota. They were there in an area called St. Paul. And their aim was to target only this area because that place, there are so many immigrants living over there. Some are working, some are living there, some own business over there. So their target was only this place, just to see how many people are we going to get who are living here illegally, or people who are here on fraud or something like that. So they went there, yeah. They were controlling each and every house, each and every business, each and every person who was walking on the street. I mean, even you, if you are walking on that place by that time, and if you don't live there, they would have controlled you. They were looking for anybody who looks different from America. You know what I mean? People who look different from Americans. And they controlled over 1,000 people. 1,000 people. They controlled all these people. And out of these 1,000 people, they narrowed it to 275 people, which they categorized as suspected fraud. So out of these 275, they narrowed it again to 42. Well, in these 42 cases, they referred it to ICE, the people who are really responsible to dealing with illegal immigrants in America. They referred them to them. And 4 people were arrested. But up to now, according to the sources that have, these 4 people have not been charged. But all these people who are arrested and everything, nothing, that is nothing of interesting to Kenya. The thing that is interesting to Kenya, there was one Kenya. Out of all these people, there was one Kenya. The way I tell you, wherever there's a scandal, there must be a Kenya. There was one Kenya. He was caught with a fake death certificate of his wife. Yeah, he was caught with a fake death certificate of his wife, and the authorities later found out his wife is still living in Minneapolis with how many kids? With 5 children that they're their children, 5 kids of them, and the wife is still living there. But this guy was having a fake death certificate. Now maybe you are sitting there in Kenya and asking yourself, hey, death certificate, his wife is there. I mean, what is that of importance to Americans, and what is that of importance to him and everything? You know, in America, and it's also here in Germany where I live, I mean, polygamy is not allowed. If you marry, you have to marry one person. And if you are going apart, that you want to be single, then you have to go through the legal process, divorcing process, and later on, the court must declare that you are single. That's when you can depart and start looking for another person. You know what I mean? There's nothing like a bibi wa kwanza, first wife, second wife, third wife, nothing like that here. Forget about it, forget about it. If you're coming over here, you have to prove. Even if you are coming from Kenya, you are coming to marry somebody here, you have to prove to the authorities that you are single. And suppose I can give an example here in Germany. I mean, if you are coming here to Germany to marry somebody, yeah, you must have a certificate that shows that really you are a single, you have never been married in Kenya. And this process in Kenya, it starts with the chief, you have to the sub-chief, because the sub-chief is the only person who knows if you are married or not. Maybe you are married traditionally, which is not registered on any papers. It's only the chief who can know that, you know. It starts from your home village. And if you are born in Nairobi, it starts from the sub-chiefs who knows the area you live. If you live in around Kariako over there, he's going to move around. The chief is going to move around and ask the people over there, hey, this guy, how do you know him, and everything, something like that. So from there, you move on to the chief with the paper that you are given with the sub-chief. You move on to the chief. The chief endorses it. And then from there, you move on to the county officials who are responsible. You know, they endorse it. And then from there on, but that, I don't know, it used to be Attorney General's office. I don't know nowadays which office is responsible for that. You move to them. These people are going to give you a letter. Yeah, and if it is German, which they speak German here, you'll have to translate it into German, but not yourself. You have to look for a certified translator. I mean, who have taken an oath that whatever is translating is correct. So after that, that's when you can present your papers here. In the US, maybe because they speak English, there's no translation. You just give out the papers like that, and then you can marry. I mean, you show them that I'm a single man, I can marry. But there are people like this guy, what I suspect, this guy was living in America with his wife and he didn't have papers. So he was thinking like, maybe he was having papers, but this is a temporary visa that you have for, short-term visa that you have for 6 months, for 2 years, 3 years and everything, something like that. So he was having this visa and was thinking that if my visa expires now, yeah, they're going to send me back. And maybe the visa expired and he's got his wife there with 5 kids. Now he was looking for a way that he can stay in America. And the only way that you can stay in such a case is to marry. I mean, that's the shortest way, yeah, to live in America, to marry an American. But as you know, as I told you, the rules does not, you have to show these Americans before you marry an American that you are single. Yeah, but he was living there with his wife. So this guy thought, what can I do? Then his thought came out, a river road. You know what I mean by river road? That's a place you get everything fake. So the only thing he thought, maybe he can say, my wife died, yeah? But if you say your wife died, you have to prove it. You have to prove it your wife died. So he thought, I have to call somebody in Kenya, do me that deal in Kenya. So, you know, in Kenya, it's simple. You just go river, you pay some money, and according to sources, he paid only $100 to get this paper. And then when if you send somebody to do it for you in River Road, $100, then you give him a tip of maybe $50, that the guy down there is happy, you are happy, the person in River Road is happy, and then he sends the papers to you to America with the DHL or anything. These things used to work those days when Biden was the president, when Obama was the president, but nowadays it doesn't work anymore. Forget about it. These kind of deals don't work anymore. Yeah? So this guy got his certificate, death certificate, even though his wife is still there. Yeah? He got this death certificate, and he was looking for a way that he can marry an American. If he marries an American, then his problems will be solved, because that's the shortest way to get a green card. But he didn't know. This time is totally different. Totally different. Yeah? These guys came for him. They were controlling. They didn't come for him. They were controlling. And they found out. They found out that this thing is forged, and the wife is still living in Minneapolis with 5 kids. I'm telling you, at the moment, this guy is having a problem. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but automatically, maybe they'll jail him. After jail, they'll send him back home, you know. And the thing is, if they send you back home, they deport you, yeah. They freeze everything that you saved in your account. I mean, everything that you had. If you had a car, they sell it, they auction it. If you had they freeze everything. That's the way they say they're claiming the money back, yeah. That you are misusing as an illegal immigrant. You are getting their money as an illegal person. You are not working, paying. I don't know, yeah? That's where you are. You end up with nothing in Kenya. Only your ticket, and that's it. You go to Kenya, I'm telling you. You're coming from America, you go to Kenya. You know, if you're coming from Europe or America, you're going back to Kenya, and people know you are working, everything, you go back. There are a lot of people there waiting for you. Hey, Niaje, what? You know what I mean? A lot of people, because they know you're coming, and when you're coming, there's some money over there. There's some money over there. But when you are coming with nothing, you and your clothes, and your legs and your hands, nothing more. Where? You can come out at the airport, there is nobody waiting for you over there. Nobody. Because they know if they go to wait for you over there, you're going to give them a problem over a problem. Because they know automatically when you land, you've got nowhere to sleep. If you're living in America and you didn't build a house in Kenya, where are you going to sleep? Nowhere. The only person who remains you have to go and sleep at your parents' house. And they can't keep you there forever, you know. Or you go and stay with your brother or cousin or everything. But you can't live there forever. And most of them try to avoid you because they think if you come and sleep once, you'll want to stay there till you start to ujijenge. You know what I mean? Still, until you start picking up. And nobody wants to take you at that time. You're just alone over there, I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you, this guy, and I don't know what's going to happen to the wife. I don't know whether the wife is an American. I know she can't be an American, because if she was an American, then you won't apply for her death certificate. Yeah, the wife, I don't know whether she was Kenyan or an African from another country. I don't know. She's going to be sent back home too, because if they connect this fraud with her too, yeah, she's out. She's out too. And this the way these guys are going so hard on illegal immigrants this time. It's not like it used to be. I mean, it's very different right now. Very different. I mean, if you want to try this kind of deals nowadays, maybe you try it in Europe. They are still the way they used to be when Obama was the president or Biden was the president. Because here in Germany, it's very common with the people here. They come over here, they get invited with their families, they come and stay here. And then after some time, when their visa is expiring, they try to find out a deal, how can they stay here? They can stay here. And it is very common. You know, they only know the only way that you can stay here for a long time is through marriage. And if you got money, There are so many German women there who are suffering. Don't think that each and every German European is having a good time here. There are so many who are suffering here, and they'll accept something as little as $1,000 or 1,000 euros. And if they accept that, what you do is just go to the attorney's office, take the vow, and you're married. And when you move out, you separate each other. You go to their house, she goes to her place, But to the authorities, you are married to a certain German, which qualifies you to get a permanent resident visa in Germany. And even in this case here in America, there's a case where they found somebody who was making use of a very old American woman. That's what they do. Even here, they look for very old women, poor women, old women, homeless, and they're Americans. Once you get one and she agrees, they come, you go, take a vote, and already you have the permanent residence visa. But even right now, in America, they're doing it. I know they're doing it. But even in Germany right now, after marriage, they come and control you. They come and check if you are still living together. They come and check your wardrobe. There are two clothes, for her clothes and your clothes. And another thing they're trying to do here in Germany nowadays is to check if you are having a common bank account, which both of you are putting money inside there, because as man and wife here in Germany, you must have not you must have one account, but if you trust each other and this is my wife, it's normal that people have one account. So they check that if you're having separate accounts, it's normal. It's normal. You can be having separate accounts and you're still married, but they'll continue controlling you until they find out really that you guys are really married or it was a fraud. And they're doing the same thing right now in America. And I'm telling you, this guy, let us see what is going to happen to him. That's me, Shakmatic. Take care, culture, till the next episode.